when your Southern president mom, Uma Thurman, takes in the information that you're gay and immediately says, let's get you on Truvada. When she says, let's get you vaxxed so we can prep for you to bottom tonight. Uma Thurman, that's an ally.
That's like she has a secret button under like the Oval Office desk, and a drawer pops out with a douche in it.
The bidet is doing a lot of heavy lifting around the White House these days.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. I don't even know where to start. Hey, how about let's start by saying the name of the podcast. Hi, this is The Swamp. It's our podcast. It's an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And oh me, oh my, this week, we were like, every year for Pride Month, happy Pride Month, everyone.
Yes, happy Pride.
Every year for Pride Month, we decide to do an LGBTQ plus theme related bubble adjacent. Just, let's celebrate. And in the past, we've done all movies focusing on queer relationships about women. We've done
queer awakening movies.
Yeah, queer awakening movies. We've dabbled all over the place, and we decided let's do something light, something fun. Nothing really feels light or fun right now, so let's just, let's watch something that's silly and funny. And so we decided to do queer rom-coms, in the rom-com kind of genre, and we're kicking it off with a movie that had no romance and no comedy.
No.
And is actually so bad that I believe it's homophobic. I believe this movie made me homophobic.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
So, really starting this month off strong with Red, White, and Royal Blue, the 2023... Is it an Amazon original?
Yes.
Amazon original. It's based on a book, which is one of those books that's in the sort of romance genre where all the covers look the same these days. Do you know what I'm talking about? And there's this sort of weird industry standard. Now I'm just sort of going off as somebody who works in a library and has to see them all the time. But it's like this weird phenomenon where every book that's in that sort of general sphere has to have the worst font you've ever seen in your life with two super ugly cartoon characters who don't actually have any facial features. They're just sort of weird blob people.
Yeah, it's something you would have seen on oh my god, what's that? Everyone uses it Canva. Yes.
They're all made on Canva.
Yeah.
And Red, White, and Royal Blue was a book, and now it's a movie, and should it have been made a movie? Probably not.
It shouldn't have been a book.
Should it have even been a book?
No. I forget that just anyone can write a book these days. You know what I mean?
Honestly, after watching this movie, I'm thinking about it.
You could.
If Amazon, I could have written this when I was 14.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
should do. Except I don't think I have it in my heart anymore. I need to go back into the archives, pull a fanfic from back in the day, pitch it to Amazon. Let's get this bread, girls.
What was one of your fanfics that you were most proud of?
The one that I was the most proud of was I did a Hunger Games fanfiction where I let my readers, quote unquote my readers, submit their characters who were the patron or the tributes, and then I killed them off. So I was submit your OC and I'll put them in my fanfiction, and then I'll kill them. That. Which was very it was awful. But this is side tangent. We're not talking about this movie at all, but it does relate in a roundabout way. That Brittany Broski in her new episode of Royal Court, giving her smut fanfiction about Cole Sprouse returning from the Gulf War, giving it to him and looking him in the eyes while she did so, I could not believe it.
She's amazing. She's my hero. That's why I felt bold enough to ask you today your fanfiction pass.
Well, no, because I'm not even going to admit to some of what's out there. And if I had to look the male celebrity dead in the eyes and hand him what I had written, I think I would sooner shoot myself. That's insane that she did that.
Can you tell me? Which male celebrity?
No, actually, I can't. Nope. And we're gonna move on to the fact that Red, White, and Royal Blue, the book, found its origins in The Social Network fanfiction about the Jesse Eisenberg character and the Andrew Garfield character. This was originally gay smut about The Social Network. And then...
I knew it had to have a fan fiction element to it. Some woman didn't just write this.
No, she wrote gay fan fiction, and then the 2016 election happened, and she thought, what would really spice things up here? And used that to turn that fan fiction then into this book. So that's the origins, that's the roots, that's what my sources say.
That's insane.
Which really lays a good foundation for your expectations going into this movie, because as soon as I learned that, it all clicked into place.
I was gonna say, yeah, absolutely. Because this came out in 2023, but it does feel straight from 2017. Like, yes. Bad in that way.
Yeah, I would say somewhere between 2014 and 2017 is where I believe this movie exists. Suspended in time.
Yeah.
Even down to the way the characters were talking to each other, the way everyone was dressed. They're like at the fucking royal wedding.
Yeah.
And everyone is in a Macy's prom gown from 2015.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so the budget, $0 for costumes, $0 for set, $0 for a script supervisor, $10 million for Uma Thurman. Production.
Exactly.
Done.
Oh my
Done.
God.
Budget set.
Don't forget, $5 million for Rachel Maddow.
Oh my God. I truly believe that a year was taken off of my life every time they PowerPoint slide transitioned to dual screen her narrating what was happening. It happened like 6 times, and every time was like a shock to my system.
See, I grew up in a Rachel Maddow household. It was like once everyone had gone to bed, and then I would like go downstairs to refill my water or something like that, and my dad every day, Rachel Maddow.
I love that. Love that for you, Bob. Oh.
Yeah. So I was never jump scared. If anything, it was like having an old friend pop back up on your screen.
Oh my God. I'm sure she would love to know that you got that experience out of her cameo in this film.
I bet. Well, she was the most gay pride for me in this film.
Yeah, this film felt homophobic until Rachel Maddow popped up, and I'm like, thank God. Stamp of approval. Now suddenly I'm behind it.
I don't even know where to start.
So, the general premise of this film, if you're not aware, because honestly, don't watch this movie. Just listen to me right now. Listen to me describe this and believe every word I say is the truth, because it is. This film is about how the first son, meaning the president's son, is a boy who exists, and the prince, he's like the Duke of Cambridge or something. His grandfather is the King of England, so he's a royal. He has an older brother, so he's not really super...
He's the heir to the throne, the older brother.
Yeah, so, it's not that crucial of a royal position, but he's, making headlines. He's a public figure. And
he's Prince Harry.
These two twinks fall in love, and they have a little tension.
Don't say twinks. That word means nothing anymore.
Are they not?
Something like that.
Are they not twinks? I don't know. Look at me in the eyes and say Nicholas Gallatin's not a little twink.
You think he's a twink in this?
I think he's a twink in his life.
Okay, that's fair. The other one,
the other one not so much.
Well, the other one felt like he couldn't play gay to save his life.
Are you kidding me? From the beginning of this movie, I thought that man was so violently gay that there was...
Are you serious?
That there was no way that it was taking the chart of him being like, I think I maybe like boys. I'm like, you have been douched and prepped this entire film. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, sir? But I think it was, just the chemistry wasn't there. But
chemistry was atrocious. The entire film just felt like
sterile.
A table read.
It was so sterile. I've been sterilized after watching this movie.
Yeah.
For a movie that feels so much like gay porn for straight women, there is virtually no spice, as the kids would say.
Which is exactly what they want.
No spice.
Which is why it makes sense.
But these two public figures, young adult men, meet. There's a little tension, sort of an enemies to lovers situation. They don't really like each other.
Like, barely.
The president's son is like a party boy. He's kind of fratty, kind of douchey a little bit. And then the prince is obviously, he's very proper and he's English, and they don't, see eye to eye about whatever. who cares? And then they're like, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Nobody has ever had that conversation in real life with somebody. I promise you that. So what exactly was it that I did that pissed you off? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But so they, reconcile a little bit, and then there's some sparks, there's some flirting, and then there's a kiss, and then it's like, oh no, we cannot be gay. We're both political public figures. This is going to be bad. But they continue to sort of progress their relationship in private, and then it hits the point where they're like, okay, we have real feelings for each other. We're going to try to make this work. And then this reporter who had slept with the president's son in the past decided to leak all of their private emails, which he somehow got access to basically out them both. And they both get outed, and then they're like, we're going to be proud about it. And they decide to be proud about it, and everyone really respects them and was like, you didn't have to hide. And then Uma Thurman is president again. Woo! And that was the whole movie. And yeah, it was like virtually sexless, which was crazy because I thought this movie was going to be about two sluts. It was going to be about two slutty little men just getting horny and romping around in the dirt. And I was so wrong because this movie
There's one sterile sex scene.
This movie just had it gave me the vibe that they were both just gonna be really slutty about it. I don't know what, so it maybe because it comes from that, like, adult fiction genre of books that is just essentially smut, that I'm like, okay, so this is gonna get quote-unquote spicy, this is gonna get hot and heavy. And the first time he, like, whispers into Nicholas Gallatin's ear, he's like, then I'm gonna take you upstairs and I'm gonna do disgusting, rotted, nasty things to your body. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, that was kind of a lot. And then they go upstairs, and it's just the most, like, they just have a cuddle. They just, like, they have a nice heart-to-heart and, like, a cuddle, and then, like, then the camera pans away. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Where was that?
Insane.
They were, like, dry humping to the beat of a polo game at one point, and I was like, oh, this is... And then the next scene is him being like, well, I've never had sex with a boy. I'm like, were y'all not just fucking? Have y'all not
it was a lot of dick sucking. To start off with, is what I was assuming.
Which...
It's just so crazy, because, like, it was very much like they start getting into it, and the camera cuts to, like, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're kidding me. Show me one naked butt.
Yeah, show me even, like, a happy trail. Show me...
anything.
And I'm not...
Anything. I was not horny after this movie.
No.
In the slightest.
And I'm not saying that a rom-com has to go there, that all rom-coms have to get, like, that raunchy, but come on. This is from a book that I'm so positive... I can't say with any certainty, actually. I've never read it myself, but I do believe that the book is probably going places that this movie is not daring to. I will say that much.
I don't know. From an Amazon original, like, I don't know what I expected. But this was very much a movie. This isn't the first time that I watched this movie. I watched this movie probably, like, 6 months ago when it, like, came out. Mm-hmm. Actually, more than 6 months ago. Probably, like...
I think it was, like, last summer. I think this movie came out, like, the end of last summer. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was, like, last summer I watched it. I think I drank 2 bottles of wine while I watched it.
Yeah.
And so that really informed my opinion about this movie. I definitely gave it, like, at least 3 stars on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it sober... unbearable.
That's a hate
Don't
crime.
Do this.
That's it.
Don't do this.
You're a victim.
Like you mentioned before, you either need to be drunk or like violently high.
Yeah, I think you need to bring yourself down to the mental state of roughly a 12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Into like
a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, with
honestly.
Use substances to get yourself back there, and then I think this movie could be kind of fun. Maybe just to have on in the background. I'll give it just about that much.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it had sort of an air of fun about it. I can see why people would enjoy it in like a light, casual, like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw something on, oh this looks cute. Kind of how I felt about the idea of you, very similarly. Like, I'm just gonna put it on while I'm doing something. I'm not gonna take it that seriously, because I know this movie is already not taking itself that seriously, so.
If you were, like, truly, like, all surrounded by your girls, all chilling on the couch, like, talking drama while this movie is going on. You know what I mean?
Yes. And
that's
also,
the scenario.
Also, like, TikTok is open on your phone, and, like, maybe...
maybe
like, a crochet project, something, I don't know. But
This cannot possibly have your full attention.
No. But I feel like it had, like, sort of a layer of fun. It didn't particularly make me laugh, but the beats of it and sort of the general feel of it really reminded me of a Disney Channel original movie. Pretty early, as soon as they had that opening credits scene, which I actually weirdly did kind of enjoy. Sort of all of these, like, spray paint pop art images of, like, different American things than different British things with just the names of the cast and stuff. Pretty unnecessary, but I just don't think a lot of movies do that anymore, and it was giving very, like, retro 90s, early 2000s Disney Channel vibes, which I think a lot of media is trying to capture, that, like, Y2K kind of thing now, and I think that that's a really easy way to do that. Just have, like, a little opening credits. It was, like, Reputation by Joan Jett, right? Like, and, you know, just, like, a quirky little, because that was every Disney Channel original movie. That immediately sort of set me sail on that path, because they are not really swearing, and they're not really making jokes that are too edgy, but it is, like, a gay, political, quote-unquote comedy, but they're not actually, like, touching any of those serious subjects in any meaningful sort of way. So it almost felt like Disney Channel original movie for adults, basically.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Which is so funny, because I feel like, I know these movies have existed, and I feel like it's usually just been, like, the Hallmark Christmas movies that kind of hit that nail on the head. But now, with this one, and the idea of you, something about it seems like it's shifted. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be caught dead watching these movies normally.
No.
But I've watched both.
Yeah, but it's almost like a joking, like, haha, this looks so bad, let's put it on. Yeah. Kind of vibe. But I think it really is the new Hallmark is started as a fan fiction, became an adult rom-com book with a Canva cover, which then gets turned into a movie. And this is the fan fiction movie, I think, is really on a trajectory to become way more mainstream, because it started off sort of with, like, 50 Shades of Grey, right? Where it was this,
absolutely,
it was this taboo thing that it was like, ooh, did you know that this was Twilight fan fiction? Ooh, it was horny Twilight fan fiction, and then it became a real book, and now it's a movie, and that's crazy. And then we sort of got to the self-aware era of, like, after, right? Where it's like, no, we're not gonna shroud that he's Harry Styles. We're gonna give him all the same tattoos, which is very the idea of you as well, sort of in. But now I think we're getting into these, like, so derived from the source material, but the heart is still there. This was social network fan fiction that then became a political gay book, and now it's this movie, but it's still, you still get that energy, that a 15-year-old girl, this is where this came from. And these movies, I think,
visceral.
I think they're really going to start popping off, because those books are so popular now, all of them. I know they're going to turn the Kiss Quotient into a movie or a TV show soon.
No idea.
Which is, it's like, I think it's Star Wars fan fiction about this, like, girl with autism wants to have sex, so she, like, pays someone to do it, and it becomes like a romance or something. I don't know, but just books.
I'm certain that that's getting made.
Yep. It's all, like, was a fan fiction and then made it. You know, fan fictions that make it is, like, the new thing, I think.
Oh my god. It's truly crazy that that's, like, the source material that now get movies with budgets like these. You know what I mean?
But maybe that's what we deserve. Maybe that's what we as a society, where our attention span is at, where they're like, fine, we'll just give $15 million to this 35-year-old woman with a dream. Honestly, if I won the lottery tomorrow, there would be signs. There would be Tumblr accounts getting checks. Put it into production tomorrow. Yeah. Because it's crazy, because it's not even the good fan fictions that are getting turned into fucking books.
Oh, no. Movies. Yeah, this one very much felt like, do you remember when you were young, starting a very promising fan fiction, and the prompt was really good? And you're like, okay, let me get into this. And then you get halfway through it, and you're like, this is fucking dog shit.
Oh, like reading it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's how this felt.
Yeah. Yes, well, okay, all the tropes are there, right? We're setting this up with a strong foundation.
Enemies to lovers.
Strong pillars. Good bones, right? And then we just look at the whole, we take a step back, and, like, you know when you get a juicy chicken wing and it looks so good and you bite into it and it's just, like, mostly skin and bones and you're like, fuck, that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
So much potential, but it's just not it just wasn't doing it for me. And the two actors had no chemistry.
Literally nothing.
The script was awful.
Which, that's the thing, is I know that this script was taken right from the fan fiction or the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because it's the sort of dialogue that might sound kind of witty and cute on paper when you're reading it in your mind, in your mind palace. You're like, oh, yeah, that's how... But the way they spoke to each other was so jarring and making my skin crawl that I was, like, having secondhand social anxiety.
Yeah.
About, like, when they were like, we're really opening up to each other. I'm like, what the... You're just telling him your favorite color. What do you mean? Like, and the stakes could have been so much higher. Because, actually, the fact that they hide in a closet together during a presumed assassination attempt, and that's when they first break their, like, first ground of, like, getting to know each other, I was like, oh my god, it was, like, not played up for laughs, but absolutely so absurd. We could have taken that somewhere of them being like, yeah, if we come out as gay, we're gonna be scared for our lives. Not just like, well, my parents accept me. Oh, no, they did, and it was great.
Exactly.
Like, no, like, if there was a genuine... I'm not saying kill your gays, but maybe one of them should have gotten shot. It's like...
Just anything to push this to the next level.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, well, this movie felt like AI generated, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I also feel like, again, to raise the stakes a little bit, the reporter who supposedly slept with the president's son once. They slept together, on one occasion, and then they have a sort of flirty encounter where he's like, hey, we should hang out like that again, and he's like, I don't really know if that's a good idea, because I'm the president's son and you're, like, a political reporter, so that's a little dicey, but, like, maybe wink wink. And then he basically, like, observes the two of them a little bit and sort of catches the vibe that there's a little fondling, a little something afoot, and he then basically uses his political journalist status to leak their emails, which I'm like, why are y'all sexting via Gmail? Why are we on AOL sending long descriptions of how I want your sweaty body on mine? Absolutely the fuck not. And okay, you didn't have PR training, either of you fucking idiots. Why are you doing this on email? Do this on an encrypted messaging app, you fucking moron. You deserve what you got then. But truly, all their emails get leaked on Reddit, so everyone knows that they're dirty little gay boys. In real life, that reporter would have fucking used those emails to blackmail the shit out of the family in the White House, extort them for millions of dollars in political influence. That is where this movie realistically should have gone, because just, he was jealous? He was jealous? No.
They didn't even make it seem like... It's just so weird, dude. It's so fucking weird.
He sucked your dick once, bro?
I'd like to blackmail Amazon Prime into letting Nicholas Galitzine out of his contract.
Oh my god, out of his fanfiction contract?
Well, because it feels like they've got him... You know how back in, like, the 20s and 30s, like, actors would be working for studios? Mm-hmm. It just feels like that. Yeah. He's their bitch. Yep. And I know he's making anything that they throw at him.
Yeah.
I'm at least glad that the other guy, Taylor Perez, is not, like, in their back pocket, because I was appalled.
Oh, he was awful.
By his acting.
He's from the Kissing Booth movies, so I think that's supposed to not tell you as much as you need to know about
acting
him.
Reminds me of, like, Big Time Rush.
Yes, it was it's a Disney Channel original.
Exactly. Reminds me of Big Time Rush. He also gave me big Ryan Reynolds vibes, which makes me want to smack my head into the corner of a table.
Yeah, he was not doing it for me in any way. I was like, actually, I hope
I didn't find him cute. I didn't find him charming.
And he's a hot man. And
absolutely.
And everything he did just sucked all that away. For me, I was like, just repulsive. I was actually hoping something bad would happen to him. I was like, I really hope this movie takes a turn, because I could not believe it.
Yeah, and it has me questioning whether or not Nicholas is a good actor or not, but then I have to remind myself and bring myself back to Bottoms, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it to him there.
Yes, so I also have pretty mixed feelings about him. I think he's great in Bottoms. Hilarious, funny. That is a purely comedic performance, though.
I need to watch Mary and George.
I haven't seen it either. I think that's what's going to make or break my sort of opinion on him, because, of course, his other big things are arguably crap, but it's also just everything about it is crap, not just him. But he's a part of it. He was not good in this. But I was like, was there any way to be good in this? Was there anyone pushing through? Even Uma Thurman was not good. I'm sorry. She was playing. I mean, it was camp. And it was hilarious.
It was camp.
It was camp, but it was not good. She was playing, like, what the white liberals think Hillary Clinton was in 2016, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a girl boss president. And yeah, my son might be gay, but I don't care. I make bathrooms for everyone. And, like, that is not how a president would be. This is some idealistic Tumblr girlie's vision of Hillary Clinton in 2016. That's what we're getting here. Even down to, like, she's wearing, like, the red, like, fucking pantsuit, and she has, like, a blonde, long bob, and she's talking in, like, I'm Southern, but I'm restrained. And, like, she was very...
Oh, my God.
Very giving that, and it was just killing me.
It was giving Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side.
Oh my god.
But yeah, she's like the odd liberal from Texas.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen one of these before.
They're like, welcome to our house. That's just a Pier 1 Imports. Literally. They're like, no, we're like a racially blended family, and their house is just like Pier 1 Imports. They're like, no, look at how cultural. Oh, we live in Austin, Texas. We're so multicultural. Red, white, and royal blue. More like red, white, and who could it be but Jen? She's my mom. She's here to do her interim podcast segment. Chocolate or vanilla. She's gonna say two things. We're all gonna say which one we like better. It's a hoot, it's a holler, it's a romp. Jen, how are you? And is there a theme this week?
I am pretty good. And so the theme is people who you would like to see work together, even though they have never.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, and you're going to give us two sets of two.
Yes. I don't know how this is going to go.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And is this,
fabulous.
Is this specifically that we want them to just be in a movie together, period, or we want them to be in a romantic entanglement in said film? What was your intention with these pairings?
I think that my intention was just to work together, but let's go with you want them in some kind of rom-com together.
Okay,
let's do that. Okay. First one, Jack Nicholson and Nicolas Cage. Or Daniel Day-Lewis and Gary Oldman.
Fuck Gary Oldman. So I'll say Nicolas Cage
and Jack Nicholson.
That would be a complicated romance.
I am gonna jump on that one as well, but I think they could match each other's acting freak.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. That's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
I want to see Jack and Nick for sure. Next one is Meryl Streep and Cate Blanchett, or Meryl Streep and Helen Mirren.
No, Meryl Streep and Cate Blanchett, because that would be electric.
I would want nothing more. How do they not work together? That's crazy.
I would love.
I know. Definitely don't fact check me, but this is to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two queens coming together to maximize their joint slay.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah, you guys both say Meryl and Kate, obviously. Right?
Love me some Helen Mirren as well, but I think that for the vibes, it's got to be Meryl and Kate.
Yeah.
I do love Helen Mirren, and I know you guys don't like the Fast and Furious, but she plays Jason Straham's mother, and she's wicked funny.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched Reds, too? She's really good in
No.
Reds. Yeah. No. Okay, next one. Angelina Jolie and Charlize Theron, or Willem Dafoe and Samuel L. Jackson.
I gotta go with Willem Dafoe. I feel kind of neutral about Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's fine, but I think Angelina Jolie and Charlize Theron together would be too sexy. That would be too hot.
No, that's what I want to see.
No, I think that the Earth would implode or something. I think that there's a reason that we don't have it, and I think it's because it would be too good.
No, I want to see it. I would risk the Earth imploding for that. I'm gonna
show
choose
it to
those
me.
two.
Show it to me, Rachel.
I would go with Angelina and Charlize too. I love Charlize Theron.
Oh.
And definitely shout out to The Italian Job because she was in that.
Yep.
Dara's favorite movie.
My favorite movie.
Okay, next one. Annie Hathaway and Natalie Portman, or Viola Davis and Regina King.
Ooh. They've never worked together. I feel like they play a lot of, I bet they audition for a lot of the same roles, actually. They play a lot of, like, same, like, serious drama, monologue-y type beat shit. No, I gotta go with Miss Natalie Portman and Miss Anne Hathaway. Yeah,
oh my god. Would be... Two powerhouses. Mm-hmm. Those two would queen out together. I have to choose them.
They're at Nicholas Galatzin's winery.
Yes.
This is going to come before when I say that in the episode, but sneak peek for later when I suggest that Mr. Galatzine should open a winery, because I think he should.
Yeah, those two.
I will say the same. I will say Annie and Natalie. Next one is Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix, or Denzel and Will Smith.
I only want Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto to be put in the same movie so that they have to be forced to, like, fucking fight to the death and eat each other or something, but for real.
Yeah. Like a murder-suicide Romeo Juliet thing.
A movie that makes them method act in a way that reverts them back into being normal, good citizens. I want them to both have to method act so hard at being fucking normal that it breaks their brains and just neutralizes anything that was leading up until that point. That's what I'd like to see.
I don't like any of these actors particularly. Denzel is fine. Will Smith I don't care for. Yeah, I guess I'll just go for Joaquin and Jared Leto, because at least Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know, no, because Denzel's a great actor. I'll go Denzel and Will, actually.
Alright, I will too. Next one is Henry Cavill and Darren Criss, or Leo DiCaprio and Jake Gyllenhaal.
This all sounds awful. I feel like maybe Henry Cavill and Darren Criss.
You think that sounds awful? I think that sounds amazing.
I feel like the project that they would be in would be like something sort of like Ryan Murphy adjacent, would have to be some sort of like, I'm picturing, where are we putting Henry Cavill into like the American Crime Story aesthetic sort of thing, which just really isn't clicking.
A sexy porn stash, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna rock with that, because that's what I see. That's what I see for them. Leo and Jake, that is a movie that's for boys, and that's not for me. And even... Because in today's day and age, those two men are not doing a good movie together, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. I haven't been, like, really impressed with Leonardo DiCaprio in a long time, so I would much rather see Henry and Darren in some fun little romp together, so I'm gonna go for those two.
Same. You could put Darren Criss with anybody, and I was gonna pick it.
For a little factoid for listeners at home is that Jen loves Darren Criss so much that when she programmed her own number into my cell phone when I was like 14 or something, she put Darren Criss as her own profile picture, like as her contact photo in my phone. So every time she calls me, just a full like Getty Images headshot of Darren Criss pops up, and I on more than one occasion have people been like, "Who's calling you?" Like, who? And I'm like, "Oh, that's just my mom. that's just my mother, Darren Criss."
Last one, J. Law and Emma Stone, or Amy Adams and Jessica Chastain.
I just don't think Amy Adams and Jessica Chastain should be allowed to be in the same room at the same time, just out of, pure magnetic forces. I just don't see that happening. But I think Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone being in a movie together sounds kind of insufferable, but I think both of them are sort of on the up and up for me. I think if it were 2015 and you said that to me, I would say put an ice pick through my eye. But in 2023, I actually think that they could potentially make something really cool together. Yeah. So I'll say if Emma Stone is on her like art house film bullshit, and J-Law's really gonna try to get back into, doing it right, I think the two of them could definitely make something pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they have great chemistry together as people. I know I've definitely watched, they have like a Lynn Hirschberg interview with like W Magazine floating on the internet somewhere, and so those two I think would fucking crush it together. I would love to see that, and I think that they're both just such good actors in their own right that they could do some weird shit.
Yeah, so. if Emma Stone made J-Law get real freaky with it, like get real weird,
I think she would.
It, yeah. And I think she has the capacity to.
Absolutely. I would love to see her like calibrated at that higher standard once again.
I agree. Emma and Jennifer, for sure.
Absolutely.
I think that would be a good movie. And that is it for people we would like to see work together.
love. I feel like we get the ideal situation once every so often with the Rian Johnson Knives Out movies, where we're like, okay, who are we putting into this? And now it's like, who are we getting in the mix? Who's working on the new Knives Out? We're fucking peppering in all the big hitters. That to me is like our Super Bowl of like getting actors to work together in like the most ideal set of circumstances. Mostly I'm just hyped because new Knives Out news has been coming out.
Yeah.
I know. Who else is in that cast? You guys mentioned Mila Kunis. Who else is...
Ugh, not Mila Kunis, though. Fuck that bitch.
Jeremy Renner.
That's another, like, questionable. But Io Debris gonna be in it, right? And Josh O'Connor.
And, Andrew Scott.
Yup. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those are all, like, solid.
And Daniel Craig is obviously still in it?
Of course,
always, yeah, as always.
My husband.
Also, drop in the comments below who 2 actors you would really like to see work together. I am thinking about that constantly. I'm an IMDb Rolodex of who can we make smash. Anyways, Jen, thank you for being here. We love you. We'll see you next week. And goodbye.
All right, I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye.
Oh my god. I will say that I would have loved Uma Thurman to hold me and talk to me about my queer identity.
Offer to get you vaxxed, waxed, ready to suck and fuck. That's...
Exactly. Waxed.
That's for real. That's what she was ready to go to bat for him, and
that's all I would need. But if that could be the coming out that I had, because I've seen that was to me the best part of this movie, because I personally had not a great coming out to my parents, and I know plenty of other people that have had like really shitty experiences coming out to their families and their loved ones. If Uma Thurman heard me say, "I'm licking puss," and said, "Hold on, let me call a pizza for us."
I thought you were gonna say, "Let me call your doctor and get you what you need."
But, like, if that was the experience I could have had, I would have been a different person.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. No, that whole scene cracked me up. And just, like, there were so many, like, weird liberalisms. And not to say that any of them were, like, bad general ideas. I think that they were just these, like, weird, clunky, sweeping statements that they were putting at odd times in the movie just to remind you that she's the president, right? Like, she was his mom, but then she would say something like, you know, and that's why we need to build a better world for this country, for the children of tomorrow. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. She's the president.
Oh, whoops. So she's like, we gotta win this election for all those transgender people who might not get the chance to vote. I'm like, okay, Uma, work. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Get it, bitch.
And like her like super like modern architecture of her like little campaign office where they have like bi pride flags everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, go right.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, she's got the updated pride flag.
Oh my god, yeah.
She's got the bear flag.
She's actually, Uma Thurman was our first furry president.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Oh my god. She said pride, she said kink at pride is okay with me.
She said actually gavel on the wooden desk. Actually, now it's law. You can wear your BDSM straps, leather daddies. We see you.
Cock out. Butt plug in.
No, because there was none of that in this film. Honestly, Uma Thurman telling her
I wish there was a butt plug.
Uma Thurman telling her son to get on prep was the horniest thing of this whole film. Not that medicine is inherently horny, but just like her being like, all right, let's go. Like, let's get into it. Let's start this party. Oh, this movie
So is it big?
In the way, though, I guess it might be, I don't know. The way that they were flirting via text was like, and like the way they were talking to, he's like, yeah, I bet you're fucking rock hard right now. Yeah, you got your Big Ben in your pants. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then he whips it out. He's like, I've never seen a dick before. Like, what the fuck? Like, just that discrepancy, like them like literally sexting, and then they like see each other for the first time, and they like just they hug.
Yeah. Nicholas Galitzine like spreads his cheeks, and the other one sees a butthole for the first time and goes, ah!
But also the way that I had to look up who wrote this book, because I don't know how much the author of the book was involved in the script of the movie, but the fact that when they have sex for the first time that we see, they do it, like, in missionary. Like, they do, like loving, gentle missionary. I'm just like, this has to be for straight women. This is gay porn for straight women.
Like, girl, come on. Be serious. Also, have you ever watched gay porn?
Right, yeah, for real. I'm like, the way that I wish this movie, they were just two gutless bottoms. Like, that's what I wanted. That's where I thought we were going.
Show me them both, like, ass to ass, double dildoed. Like, you know what I mean?
But I don't know if this is, like, giving this movie too much credit, or just, like, this genre of movie.
Probably.
A little too much credit, but just the space that I think that could have used a bit of improvement is... just, there was no chemistry, there was no on-screen chemistry between the two actors, but the story also didn't really give us any reason for them to like each other, other than the fact that they were just very similar. They were both in similar positions of, I'm the prince and you are the president's son, and that's the thing we have in common, and that is it. Other than that, we don't really get told why they like each other, other than that just, like, quote-unquote, we're getting really close, right? Just that general statement. They're, like, texting, and it goes from, like, hey, dickhead, bet you're wearing an ugly tie. Ooh, oh, American, bet you're deep-throating a hot dog. It comes from, like bro-y flirting to suddenly, like, Nicholas Galatzin's character being like, this is what I think of romantic literature. Oh, I've been reading a poem here or there that I've been just pondering the sort of likes of what might be intellectual thought. And so it's like, hashtag so deep. Hashtag they're having deep and real conversations. This isn't just, hey, what's up, you up. This is the hashtag really deep shit, right? We're really getting into it. Where I'm like, no, that's not it. And then when they actually talk in person about stuff that would be potentially meaningful, him being like, yeah, I'm not white, and being in politics is really hard, and I want to be sort of the person that my dad could have used on TV. Like, that stuff was all good. Again, the bones were there, but he didn't actually say anything about him personally. That was just a fact. That's just a general sweeping statement. Yes, it's hard to be gay and not white in America. Yes, that is a fact. We never, ever got any deeper than that. And him being like, yeah, I'm the prince, they won't let me be gay, because I'm a public figure, and that's really sucks. Oh, let's slow dance in a fucking private art gallery that I have, because this movie could not possibly be relatable to anyone. This movie is not relatable to gay people. This movie is not relatable to rich people. And I guess relatability, that's maybe, I mean, this movie is for, straight women, so that's, I'm sure their relatability is not really on the table, but I was just sort of like, can we get just a hair deeper into, like, oh, maybe this thing happened and that's why I'm so afraid to be outed in the public eye. Oh, it can't, I don't know, just something personal.
Anything, please, anything.
Just a grain of sand to just help me. But again, I'm sure they're writing this just for floofy, fun, topical, and I'm not saying this movie had to, like, tackle the issues of racism in America, but I'm like, then don't bring it up. Then don't start those conversations and be like, yeah, we're really gonna touch on this subject, and then just move on. Like, all right.
Exactly.
If we want to get into Fuck, Marry, Kill, who do we think the third? Are we just gonna pick
Uma?
The three? Oh, Uma. I was gonna say the three gay men, the reporter, but he's kind of irrelevant. So yeah, let's do Uma Thurman. Nicholas
Obviously, I'm gonna marry. This is easy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna marry Uma. Yep. I'm gonna fuck Nicholas Galatzine, and then I'm gonna kill the other one.
Sure.
Alex, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, sure. I think all in character in the movie, I think I'll kill Nicholas Galatzine because he doesn't want anything to do with me. The other one at least says he's bi and interested in women, so that I at least have a shot. Right? I have a shot to rub two sticks together to make something happen, you know?
Fair enough. I would let Nicholas Galatzine, like, use me to cross me off. You know what I mean? Like, to be like, okay, yeah, definitely no women in my life.
Yeah, just get it.
I'd be fine.
There. Right.
But the other one, I thought he was insufferable, so I'm gonna fuck his mom.
I fucked your mom, loser. I fucked your mom, nerd. Oh my god. But yeah, I cannot think of a worse person than a political Nepo baby who's going to college on a full ride, full Nepo scholarship, for political science, for whatever the fuck he's doing at Georgetown.
Get the fuck out of here.
And like really just trying to be part of the grassroots movement of this. I'm like, dude, your family has 6 houses. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. At the end of the movie, when he says, oh, your family really is working class, aren't they? Yeah. That's the moment that I took the safety off. That really is what did it for me.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty bad.
You are having a party, as you should. This movie should not be watched alone. Watching this alone by myself, sober in the middle of the day, was jarring, to say the least.
Yeah. So I have to set the scene for this.
Oh, please do.
You are having a girls' weekend, right? You're all crammed into like maybe 1 hotel room, maybe 2. Something like that. A hotel room, a mess. Disgusting.
Squalor. Living in squalor.
Suitcases flung open, makeup everywhere, empties from the night before, littering every countertop.
Toilet clogged. Mini fridge empty. The girls in their PJs.
Yeah, you guys went out like to the club last night. You got fucking hammered, and this is a thing that you're gonna put on while you guys chat about the night before. You do your debrief, right? And then you start making the mimosas in the morning.
Yes.
Right? So I think you have mimosas, and then my thing that I would want if I was like hungover and getting back into the day, fresh out of bed, is like a blueberry muffin.
Ooh, love it.
Keep it simple.
Love it.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Mimosa that is 90% champagne.
Yeah. Champagne with a splash of OJ.
Yeah, a spritz. What about you?
Oh, yeah, pretty similarly. I think you should eat microplastics and you should drink goat's blood, because this movie was, like, written by the fucking AI machine. This movie made me feel literally so, like, uncanny valley, like, where am I? But
it was bad.
I do think the closest thing you can get to microplastics are either those sugar cookies with the cakey sugar cookies with the frosting from the grocery store, or Nerds clusters. Those 2 things scream microplastic to me. Even, not that they necessarily have them in them, but I just imagine that is kind of what it's like.
Those are what I was eating while I watched this. So.
Yeah. Really? Both of those things?
Not the cookies, the Nerds clusters.
We love
I got too high to drive to the grocery store, so I had them DoorDash to me.
Honestly, if any brand wants to reach out, I think it should be Nerds clusters. I think the women, like, our age demographic of women who are really into movies also really love Nerds clusters. I feel like that's a specific...
Well, it's like the Nerds clusters and the Bunch Crunch that you can't find anywhere except for the movie theaters.
Movie candies. They should be... I'll run an ad for you. As long as you let me say anything that I want. As long as you let me...
it's literally girl gravel.
I want to do an ASMR ad for Nerds Clusters of me chewing fish tank gravel into, like, a microphone, like, real ASMR-like, and be like, yeah, I bet your mouth's watering, isn't it? Nerds Clusters. Boom. The sales will be through the roof. That's my pitch.
Thank God you went to marketing school.
Thank God I'm in lifelong debt for that. And then I did, literally the only thing I wrote down for a drink is just goat's blood, because I was just like, we've got to do something here. I think you need to be drinking, you know what I'm gonna say?
Straight vodka.
If Nicholas Galitzine knows what's good for him, he's gonna take this Amazon money. He's never gonna act again. He's gonna open a winery, Napa Valley, Galitzine, just call it that. Only a super nondescript Sauv Blanc, taste of nothing notable. Just the most boring one. Open a winery that only does that. Middle-aged white women will flock to it. It will be flying off the shelves, Nicholas. I think you should really consider this career path. And that's just sort of what I think the vibe. If I was to interview him one-on-one, I think I would pour us a little... Not quite a sangria, but just, yeah, super what you would use as the white wine in a sangria. It's just the most boring white wine you can think of. That is what Nicholas Galatine is screaming to me.
Yeah, I can see that. And then what are you following this up with? And is it also The Idea of You?
Oh, so I wrote that down as yes. If you want to keep these good vibes rolling, and that actually I will put on the top tier of current fanfiction-based films. I'll put that one.
Yeah, better.
It's better than After. It's definitely better than this one. 50 Shades is sort of its own beast, but I definitely think it was better. As far as, like, fanfiction movies that were actually, like, kind of fun and kind of, like, it was so... Maybe it was because it was One Direction fanfiction, and that was more, like, what I was consuming as a middle schooler that really, really tickled me in, like, that way. But my other two suggestions were just, if you want a movie about two men who have a lot of sexual chemistry, you can watch Challengers, and then you can go over to our Patreon and listen to us be thirsty about it. But that was, like, the whole debacle of, like, straight playing gay, like, I think has been kind of fizzling out recently, as far as, like, actors being like, yeah, well, if you make that accusation, then you're also, like, trying to out me, and that's weird, which I totally agree with. It's not really anyone's business. But two, on, as far as we know, not queer actors just really pulling out a horny queer performance. I think you should rock with Challengers, or I also just think you should go watch the new Brittany Broski Royal Court thing,
absolutely.
where she gives Cole Sprouse that fanfiction, because that honestly shook me to my core. I don't think I'm the same person I was this morning. And I also, like, I usually just get from clips. This I watched the full 30 minutes of, from beginning to end. I was like, I need to embrace this. That was so brave of her.
Truly.
She deserves a Purple Heart for that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I just had The Idea of You.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miss Annie, just, oof.
Like, I at least had fun with that one.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
one I was high and not even having that much fun.
How was he gayer in The Idea of You than he was in this?
Literally.
Like,
truly.
Riddle me that.
I couldn't I can't explain it to you. But what are you gonna rate this? I'm gonna give it a 3.
I was gonna give it a 4. Yeah, I think it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, don't have much to say, and not even in the fun way that I was hoping for. I got glimmers. I got glimmers of fun, and then they were ripped away by
just out of reach.
But I'm glad that we talked about this, because I think we're actually covering a lot of bases by covering a bad rom-com. Gay people can make bad art too, and that's okay. I think that's all right. And
we should talk about it more.
We can celebrate bad art and bad queer art, and I think that it deserves it. So hey, happy Pride. hey everyone, happy Pride. We're gonna be doing queer rom-coms all month. We haven't really set on anything in stone, so if you want to suggest some of your faves to us, just a gay movie about romance in any way that made you laugh and made you kind of happy and kind of light, nice. If you would describe a movie as being pretty nice, I think that would fit our criteria for this month.
Yeah.
And as always, leave your shit in the description, give us stars, all of that. We love you, and goodbye and good night.